Alrighty, Eyewitness News. It's Connecticut's Back to School Authority. The state is investing more than $40 million to help school districts plan for remote learning. Channel 3 New Haven Bureau Chief Matt McFarland is live right now. He's in Waterbury with a look for us at how some of that money will be used. Hi there, Matt.
Hi there, Mark. Well, Connecticut's coronavirus numbers are good, and the state is committed to a full reopening this fall. But then again, that final decision is going to come down to the school districts. And if they decide to go with a hybrid model, well, this federal CARES Act money, well, it's going to be in place to help connect the school districts and those students that need it the most.
As a public high school teacher, it's very important that our students have the ability to connect to online learning.
And Waterbury State Rep Ron Napoli, who's also a high school history teacher, knows it's not always the case.
And I've seen it myself where many of my students have multiple siblings all online at the same time, and there wasn't enough bandwidth to do work. So this is a very important program.
And today inside the Waterbury Arts Magnet School, Governor Ned Lamont announced a more than $43 million commitment and federal CARES Act dollars to help with remote learning for school districts and their underserved students.
Really focused on those kids in need, focused on the alliance districts, getting them up and operating hopefully in time for the new school year, so that for those kids in particular that don't feel comfortable coming back into the classroom, their learning doesn't stop.
As part of the Everybody Learns initiative, $22 million will go towards 50,000 laptops. $15 million will go to provide connectivity for 60,000 students still without internet access. $4.5 million will be used for 200 public hotspots in urban and rural areas, and $2 million for social and emotional learning projects all districts will be able to use. Here in Waterbury, between 10 to 15% of their students still don't have internet access.
We know that as we continue to work at reopening schools, that it's critically important that we have access because we see it, and we see it on a daily basis, the digital divide.
The state says between the 60,000 laptops distributed in the spring through the Dalio Foundation, this announcement will result in covering 1/5 of the state's roughly 500,000 students. And the state points out many school districts are already providing their own. This makes the state pretty close to making sure everybody has a device and access.
It's not just about this next semester. I think it's about how we change education going forward.
Now, the state says it's reaching out to those school districts to see how many devices they'll need, and they say they hope to have them in place this fall, but they also know that there is a supply chain issue with so many school districts around the country looking for laptops as well. And it's very timely because a recent survey by the Connecticut Education Association asking teachers, 85% of the teachers that responded said roughly about a little more than 50% of their students had access to the internet and the devices. So you can see just a large chunk that still did not have it. We're live at the mobile newsroom in Waterbury. Matt McFarland, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.